Hey K-popers, and welcome back to Hallyu. Today we're gonna look in depth at a legendary boy group song from Beast called Fiction, and try to decide if it's the most tragic love story ever portrayed in a K-pop music video. To do that, we'll first briefly discuss the context of the release and just how big of a hit Fiction was. Then we'll go scene by scene through the beautifully told story to understand its meaning, and then go even deeper to discover just how complex the actions and events within the video truly are. And finally, we'll talk about why Fiction stands out even today, and decide if it deserves that title of the most tragic love story. Before we get started, a quick thank you to Hallyu's honorary producers. If you want to be on this list and show off your bias group to everyone watching, you can support my work on Patreon. Patrons also have a say in lots of videos before they're released, so if you want to leave your mark on Hallyu, come join us over on Patreon. So without further ado, let's jump into one of the most legendary songs that the second generation of K-pop gave us, Fiction by Beast. The boy group Beast debuted in 2009 with the song Bad Girl. If you're a newer K-pop fan, you might only recognize them by their current name, Highlight. The group left Cube Entertainment in 2016 and changed their name after creating their own label to continue with their music careers. Since 2010, Beast released 18 Korean singles that all charted in the top 10, and all but 2 of them were in the top 5 in Korea. Beast was a big deal. The song Fiction off of their first full-length album, Fiction and Fact, was released on May 17, 2011. The album was incredibly well received. It hit number 1 and sold 90,000 copies in May of 2011. It won the Group Artist of the Year in the second quarter of 2011, and the song Fiction won Song of the Year at the 2011 KBS Music Festival. So clearly the song resonated with fans, and a big part of that is the incredible story behind it. So let's take a close look at this love story that Beast so eloquently told. As the video starts out, we see a woman in a beautiful study area, then a man played by Junhyung writing in a notebook. The girl sits down to play at a piano, and we see Junhyung clearly distressed while writing something. We find out why almost immediately as the song begins with the lyrics, "I still can't forget you, I still can't trust everything, even today I can't send you away like this." Junhyung is heartbroken by the loss of his girlfriend, whether that was because of a breakup or even an untimely death. We're not told, but it's clear to see how much it's affecting Junhyung. We then discover what Junhyung is doing as he says in the lyrics, "I will rewrite again, our story will not end, I will bury the fact that reality is seeping into my skin for now." Junhyung is rewriting the story of him and his lover from the beginning, from when they were happy, so that his story doesn't end and so he can be happy and not have to give up on that love. And on a side note, as the chorus starts, we're treated to, in my opinion, some of the coolest leg choreography in K-pop. It's so effortless and hypnotic. Again in the chorus, we hear how desperately Junhyung is clinging to this world where there's no end for him and his lover. But, as the ad-libs remind us in the song, in the end, it's just fiction. We see the girl start exploring the study, moved by what she read in the book on the shelf. She then goes over to the notebook on the desk. This shows just how elaborate and complex the world that Junhyung has crafted really is. It has spilled over into multiple volumes of writing. More and more scenes of Junhyung appear in a cold, barren world dreaming of the girl, and as the girl opens the notebook, she can see the world that he's crafted, with it coming to life in the pages of the book. As another side note, I think it was a really cool touch in the MV to not only include a picture, but the actual living, breathing world Junhyung is in on the page. As the video continues, we start to see more of this fictitious world Junhyung is in as he pulls out a picture of the girl. The lyrics tell us Junhyung now has an added struggle, saying, "I'm the writer who lost his purpose. The end of this novel, how am I supposed to write it? I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. I keep writing these 3 words." Junhyung is stuck and he doesn't know how to end the story, because frankly he doesn't want it to end. We see the 2 lovers finally meet in this world, but since there is no end, the girl tragically vanishes. At the sight of this, Junhyung is overwhelmed with grief and he falls to his knees, then himself vanishing. Finally, we see a montage of happy moments the 2 share in the study, and then the girl is all alone staring at the book as she closes it. After getting up though, the girl returns to the notebook and begins writing. But then we see Junhyung also writing in the book. Obviously, we can already tell this is a tragic love story of 2 people trying to recreate a world where they can be happy together, but there's actually a lot more going on here subtly. So let's go one layer deeper. First off, you can see early on when Junhyung retrieves the book from the shelf, he finds a picture of the girl, and in that picture she's in the made-up world in that barren desert from the end of the video. In fact, even the study that they both find themselves in is a part of this world that he's created. The lyrics tell us this when they say, The background is a small room without an exit. When the girl vanishes in the desert, Junhyung also vanishes because he's given up all hope after seeing the girl he loves disappear once more. All of his work in trying to build this world has failed. And this is where it all starts coming together. When the girl returns to the notebook to write in it, she adds, "Right now I'm so happy I'm writing a story. Still, it's all just hoping." But as I mentioned, when the view steps back from the book, we actually now see Junhyung writing, and he's the one writing the rest of the note. So we're finally discovering what was really happening. The girl was never in the study. She never returned to see Junhyung or see the world that he created for them. The story he wrote in those books was itself inside another story taking place in the study. So let's clear this all up and make sure we're all on the same page. Pun completely intended. In real life, Junhyung's story that he wrote was of this study, where the girl he loved would return to him and find a different fictional world he had crafted so that they could be happy together. And when that hope dissolved away in the desert, that inner story collapsed back to the study and the true scale of this fantasy came to light. And though that sounds kind of otherworldly and outrageous, what's even more interesting is that the lyrics actually completely support this. The ad-libs during the chorus throughout the song are actually saying fiction in fiction. So the lyrics are implying the multi-layered fake reality that Junhyung was trying to create to be with his lover forever. So, what can we take away from Beast's iconic song Fiction? Well, first off, it tells a tragic story of a man who is incredibly desperate to be happy with the girl that he cares about, but whose dream cannot be achieved, whether that's because she broke up with him or she died. And it tells this story in the music video incredibly well, only revealing the true scope of Junhyung's fiction at the end. I personally absolutely love when works of art do this, prompting a second or even a third watch to fully grasp the emotions and the story and the nuance of the video with all the added knowledge of the ending from the first watch. I think it's no wonder why this song was so incredibly popular and chosen as Song of the Year. It's a song whose video is crafted with incredible attention to detail and a complex storyline, much like the Academy Award-winning film Inception. It appeals to us as fans on a level we can all relate to, experiencing loss after a breakup and desperately wishing we could go back in time to a world where that happiness with our partner still exists. Now, don't get me wrong, on the whole, K-pop nowadays is much more advanced. But when you look at new releases today, and I mean really look, behind the flashy sets, costumes, and lighting, there aren't many songs that go beyond a typical love story. Most are simply about a pretty girl crushing on someone or a badass guy who wants your love. The substance, emotion, and intricate storytelling is hard to come by nowadays, and Fiction by Beast is a fantastic example of why crafting such stories is absolutely worth the effort. So, is Beast's Fiction the most tragic K-pop love story? In my view, it's definitely earned the right to be in that discussion, especially given how complex and well thought out this story really is. But let me know if you guys agree, or if you think a different story deserves that title instead. Either way, I hope you've enjoyed this exploration of a legendary K-pop song and its incredible story. Thank you so much for watching this deep dive, and if you did enjoy this, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on future stories like this, as well as all the other K-pop news and entertainment that's coming to you every single week here at Hallyu. This has been Deep Dive number 24, Fiction.